He says he's smart because he can take advantage of the tax code. And he does take advantage of the tax code. That's why I'm going to eliminate the Trump tax cuts. And I'm going to eliminate those tax cuts and make sure that we invest in the people who, in fact, need the help. People out there need help.
Yes, because nothing quite says helping people like lying about massively raising their taxes as you try and cram $3.5 trillion in spending, keep lying about the rich paying their fair share while you are giving the rich over $680 billion in tax breaks, all the while you lie even more, seeing as you yourself have used tax loopholes to avoid paying tax, you two-faced senile old bastard. So here's a fun short little bit of news. It turns out Joe Biden is a lying sack of shit who's avoided paying taxes for years by exploiting the very same loopholes he's pledged to put a stop to. Imagine my shock, a politician who lies. Who'd have thought? Now obviously this does not come remotely as a surprise to anyone who's got an IQ higher than a baboon's ass. Again, this is a lot fewer people than I'd like, but it turns out smoky old Joe has copped out on paying over $500,000 in taxes. So what old Joe and his slimy-ass wife did was funnel their speaking fees, aka bribes, and book royalties through two corporations. The Celtic Capri Corporation and Giacopa Corporations paid themselves a modest salary on which they paid Social Security and Medicare taxes. Now, most of the income, however, a whopping $13.5 million, they class not as personal income, but as corporation profits, which allowed them to avoid paying any payroll tax. So because Social Security applies to the first $132,900 earned, they paid the tax on that. However, the rest of the money, which was not filed under personal income, but rather corporate income, they avoided the 2.9% Medicare tax, which applies to all income, and the 0.9% high income tax created in Section 9015 of Obamacare, which applies to all wage income over $200,000 for an individual or $250,000 for a family, which, if we see this chart over here, the Bidens managed to scheme their way out of paying more than $500,000 in taxes over the course of 3 years. Anyone in the mainstream gonna talk about this? Nope. I wonder how much taxes him and his kid were paying on the illicit dealings he was making with foreign entities as he sold out his government position for money while he was vice president. And now we know the stories on the confiscated laptops were true. No shit, the press wouldn't touch the story with a 10-foot pole. Simplest explanation is often the correct one. And now, his crack-smoking kid is under federal investigation for potential tax crimes. Like father, like son, hey Joe, you two-faced fucking hypocrite. And, as it turns out, federal prosecutors deliberately delayed looking deeper into Hunter's corrupt dealings to shield his senile dumbass father from 2020 election embarrassment. What a surprise. Is it any wonder why so many mistrust the government when it turns out it's being operated by a bunch of unholy, corrupt, worthless shitheads? I can't possibly imagine why. And that's all for today. Until next time.